All right, what's up, guys? I want to make a quick video here for some tips and tricks on what I do with Wulf to have a higher win rate when I don't use him and things like that. Now, when it comes down to Wulf, you always do want to use, like, for example, he's going to tell you if he's bullish or bearish and things like that. If you're not bearish or if you're not bullish, then you just turn him off. Simply as that. If you are agreeing with being bullish, then of course, at that point, then you go ahead and leave it on. So on and so forth. Okay, guys. Now, one of the biggest things that I do is that with Wulf, he's not taking many trades per day, so you can leave it at like a 0.5% risk. So if he's taking 2 trades, at max, he's risking 1% a day for you. Whenever he does enter into a trade, I do go ahead and set up my alerts at his TP lines. So essentially, I'll go ahead and do like this: alert here, and then I'll go ahead and go about my day. Okay, because yes, he does have a built-in trend line, but I do want to see candle structure sometimes as price is pushing up, because it can end up returning back down. And also, if like I see here, we get into a little bit of a bearish formation. We're pushing down. It does say that we're bullish, but I may want to see price come down to like a significant level first and then buy up. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be waiting for that. Also, that's another thing too. I'll get into that more with R3, where you see price get into a certain zone, and that's when you can know to turn on Wulf. So say if you you only want to buy down here or something like that, you will set your alert to turn to like notify you, and then at that point you can go over into your notifications and hit the play button on that preset alert that you already made before. What I have set is a 24/7 Wulf alert that I just manually turn off and on. And then I also have my my computer on no sleep, or I have it on a VPS where my MetaTrader won't get disturbed and my EA is always running. So that's like a pro tip right there for making it a little bit easier. I'm going to talk a little bit about like what I have set on my settings of Wulf here for you guys as well too. None of that really matters. This is all set to your preference of time. With this here, this is set for an hour before like pre-market. There's a pre-market right there. And then what is that? 4.5 hours into the session or so. If Wulf doesn't get triggered in the early times of the day, you can see if he takes a trade later on, because he's not taking major risks, depending on what you set up. But that's also up to you. Those are just like the prime times as far as like volumes and stuff like that. There are times where Wulf has good plays during London. So personally, what I would say is go ahead and turn off the time frame and look back at the times. Okay, like there's certain things that happen inside the market where volume starts to swing. Like it's basically just like how New York has a pre-market and shit starts to move around. London has a pre-market, which if London has a pre-market, that means that it's Tokyo. So if you look at the hour before Tokyo ends, sometimes there's volume there and Wulf may get triggered. Or even with that hour before, it'll go into like a supply or demand, activate and then move, and then that may move into Wulf's pending trade. Okay, so you just got to see what's going on as far as those time frames, depending on where you live, and so on and so forth. I do highly recommend backtesting by just simply looking at what happened. You can just turn off your time and then go back to it and look at it. But I definitely advise doing that. And then also that also varies, so it depends on what you're using Wulf with. Personally, I have not tested Wulf on Forex pairs. I know that there are some people that trade Forex pairs, and I have gotten told that it works. It has worked out well on EU, GJ. It's like those pairs that have good movement, not like some small, you know what I'm saying, like small movement type stuff. But yeah, I personally haven't tested it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm an indice trader. Now, so more of my settings here for you guys. If I want to have like really like my shit really close, like tight, pause, no diddy. What I would do is set it to a 40. Now with 40s, you are more likely to get stopped out inside of your trade, because at that point you are where do you go? You do have tighter stop losses. Okay, so it's just sometimes you may get stopped out to where you see how price came up here, close, pulled back, almost almost took out, and then shot back down. If I had that on 60, there's no worry on that. But if you're using like a 60, that means that you're going for like a 1 to 2. And at that point, I would definitely I would close at that point, or I would end up taking partial for sure and going break even. Well, you're already break even at that point, because you can see right here, like with this candle closing right here, stop losses right here at TP1. So solid. So, now for the rest of this year, I'm gonna go back to my settings. That's pretty much of that. Now I do want to talk about the styles. I turn off the background. The background's just there so you know what time frame it's being used on. I like it off. I gave you guys these custom gold lines. If you want to change it, you can. They're custom. Ooh, it could look cool with like a gray back. Oh, never mind. Anyways, so that's pretty much that. I don't like having the quantity on. I pretty much just have these on here because the red is the entry, the blue is the exit. So that's simple. Not that simple. And then visibility is here. This is here. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my tips and how-tos with R3. I mean, with Wulf. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see here now. 5 minute now. As far as like having the automations, 5 minutes not bad. 5 minute is more so if you're going to go for TP2. TP2, like, you know what I'm saying, a night. That's a 1 to 2. That's good. And then if you want to go for right here, for example, that would have been a 1 to 3. Let's scroll further back. We got some 1-to-1s right here. We got stopped out on profit, stopped out at break even. That's an L. Let's see. I need to change time frames. Oh my goodness. It's like the worst part of I don't even remember what date that was. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else, any tips and tricks. Oh, probably the most important one I should have said first. You want to make sure that you're using them on automation during red folder days. Like if you see that there's if volume is clearly fucking dead, excuse my language, turn off the bot. Like you're not like no bot in this world is ever created to be able to trade 100% of the time, and also they're not really like a whatchamacallit. How do I put it? What's the word? There's no like algorithm or in a sense or like indicator that will say this is consolidation. There isn't really that. So with that being said, you have to be able to periodically look at the markets or know if the markets are just slow and dead to just turn it off. If the market's not structuring, turn it off. Simple as that. There's no structure, turn it off. But yeah, that's honestly the most important one. Other than that, that's pretty much that. If you have other questions, message me in Discord, reach out to me on Instagram, and we'll talk then. Peace.